What is up, YouTube? It's your boy G-reg. We are back with another video. Police discover a killer's hidden torture force by Dr. Insanity, man. Let's jump right into it. Hey, I did just get done reacting to two other videos, and they're going to be uploaded at the same time this is uploaded. So if you want to go check those out, please do. If you want to like and sub, I appreciate it. I love y'all. Let's get it. Hey. One more thing. Make sure, have you thank God today. Make sure to pray and thank Jesus Christ for giving us breath this morning and allowing us to wake up, giving us the strength just to keep pushing, man. Thank you, Jesus. Let's get into the video.
Oh, shit. SO3, man, this bitch. I've located the body. The scene's about 50 yards on a trail.
This lone cop just discovered a dead body in the middle of the woods.
What is that? Sounds like it's heading this way. But I hear from the knife up top of the body, carving the blood of the place. 10-4, signal 7. Please send another unit to my location.
What he doesn't know yet is that the lifeless man in front of him has been tortured for hours by the twisted man hiding in this very forest.
Whoever did that's fresh. A little eyeball right here? Man, that's some creepy shit right here. You know somebody else right here? Yeah. Are they gonna torture him? I'm not sure what it is, but I've got movement east of my location in the woods. There's something moving around back this way.
He carries 3 or 4 knives on him. He thinks he's random. You're what? I'm just like him, God.
It's December 23rd, 2022, and Officer Azure has just received a 911 call from a distraught man reporting that he's found his best friend's lifeless body in the middle of the Lake Jackson forest. Officer Azure, along with a group of first responders, quickly arrive at the scene.
That's my friend. Okay, go stay right there.
Here they encounter Jamie, the 911 caller, and his best friend Robert, both of whom urgently want to show the officer where their dead friend is. Considering the serious circumstances, Officer Azure decides to follow Robert into the forest despite being alone.
Great, man. I'm 10-12 with him. Just give me a minute. I'm 10-12 with 2. I'm head down to take a look. 361, if you want to come down, and 56, you need a nice to the back. I'm headed down to the scene. We're going back that way, about 50 yards. Okay. I'll watch this good. Yeah. Knife is laying on the ground. There's no blood on it. Did you touch the knife? I did pick up the knife. Okay. Well, we're going to need to get fingerprints from you, okay? No problem. I walk by the top. There you see James. Okay. And then Alan walked by the truck and goes, "What's that?" And he picked the truck up with his sticky gun in his hand. And James was laying there face down, and I dropped the knife and we left. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to need to get a very detailed statement from you, okay? Just because... I understand. Well, the thing is, I'm not accusing you of anything, but you have to be ruled out. You see what I'm saying? 100%.
At this point, the officer can't yet confirm Robert's story, but with a dead body reported, he has no choice but to push deeper into the woods. However, alone with a suspicious man he's just met and a killer who could be lurking nearby, the officer knows he must proceed with extreme caution.
You hang on down right here for me, okay? Let me get up there and take a look. Which one? There. Right here, right. Oh, shit. Okay. You please look at that back stand, please. All right. Where's the knife?
The knife's on the left-hand side of him.
Okay.
On the ground. Got a white belt.
Okay. Just hang out there for me, okay?
Yeah.
Jamie was telling the truth. Wrapped inside the tarp is the body of James Leighton Decker. He's lying naked in a pool of his own blood, covered in cuts and scrapes. Realizing the severity of the situation, Officer Azure immediately instructs Jamie to head back while he investigates further. That's when Officer Azure begins to hear some unsettling noises.
See, I'm not gonna lie. I'm too used to the woods at nighttime. Man, hey, real duck hunters know if you hunt flooded timber and if you hunt, say you're hunting, not just flooded timber, but say you're hunting like the wood or the river. And, the Mississippi, it's notorious for having hills. And then there's probably like 100 to 500 yards of just flat land with woods up until you get to the river. It's notorious all the way down from Minnesota all the way down to Louisiana. It's the Dubuque, the city I'm from. It's literally a cliff, and then downtown is on the bottom, and then there's the river. But it goes Dubuque is down here. Downtown is down below on the bottom of the hill, and then you go all the way up. And then uptown's way uptown, right? That's basically how it all the way goes, all the way down. Dubuque's not special. I'm not saying that's special or nothing. I'm just saying that's how most river towns are. There's a big bluff, and then there's a fucking town or little town, big town. Dubuque's mediocre, medium-sized city, nothing big, like 100,000. We're small. We're not big at all. I'm not saying we're a big city. I'm just saying, you could. It's big enough where you could put a decent city up in there, and then you have uptown, of course. But yeah, duck hunters, bro, we too used to this, man. We're way too used to this. We go in the woods to put decoys. We wake up. When did I haven't duck hunted in a year, and it's duck season right now, but it's not. There's no point in going, bro. There's no ducks and shit. But when it was popping, you'd wake up at like 3:30, right? Get dressed, eat, go to the bathroom, do whatever you got to do, and then, I don't know, you get out there. If sunrise is 6:30, you get out there by 5:30 and put all your decoys out so you can sit for 30 minutes and let the ducks come in. And then once sunrise, or 30 minutes before sunrise, you boom, boom, boom. You know what I mean? But yeah, dude, I'd be used to this, man. Come out, step out, bro. I'd fuck you up, dog. Hey, but tip, don't use your light, my boy. When you use a light, bro, you're just giving that man something to shoot at. You really are. You can just...
I'm not sure if it's a person. I'm not sure what it is, but I've got movement east of my location in the woods. Sounds like it's heading this way.
There's a light right there. You see that behind the tree? Right here? Go back. Right there. See that bitch right here?
Hey, LT.
Fortunately for Officer Rajour, backup arrived just in time, providing some relief from whatever might have been lurking in the forest.
There's nothing for y'all to check. He's cold to the touch. Alright, we got knife right here, body here, tents, whole camp spread up back here. We've also got one outstanding.
What the hell are you talking about?
There's 2 people who live in this camp,
And one's not here?
and one's outstanding at the moment.
Did you find the knife?
Yeah.
I got a knife right here.
She said, what the hell are you talking about?
Well, there's
Bitch, what do you
something
think?
right there.
Females don't be using their brains,
Hey,
bro.
you
These
still got
female cops, bro, do not be using their fucking brains at all. These are fucking homeless vets, bro. Bro, I see the Vietnam. Is that Vietnam? Yorktown. Never mind. But
You guys 10-12 up front.
I don't like homeless vets, bro.
Yeah,
No. I don't like that they're homeless. My bad. I love my vets. I back the blue all the way. But, bro, they should not be homeless. And these fucking non-U.S. citizens are getting free housing and free food, free everything. These are the motherfuckers that should be getting the free housing, free food.
That's good, because one that led me back touched the knife. So we need to get his prints and a statement off him. The other one touched the tarp. They found out what was going on and they took off. I checked the camp and he's the only one back here.
I got the name of the person that was arguing with at 5 or 6 o'clock.
Yeah, so and I've got what looks like maybe his clothes right over there. So he's naked, and there's some clothes right there on the fire.
As medical staff arrives and examines the body more closely, they observe a brutal manner of death. Blunt force trauma to the head, strangulation, and something even more disturbing, gasoline, found in James's lungs and stomach.
Bruh.
Detectives are left
Don't tell me he waterboarded this man with fucking gas.
with a burning question. Why would a victim have gasoline inside him? However, this would be only one of the many disturbing details officers uncover at the scene.
Hey, Seth, take a look at this for me. What is that? Is that just soot weared off on that, or? I mean, it looks awful shiny.
Where he has been stabbed, just from what I can see. But he is butt naked, face down on a tarp with his upper torso covered, so definitely somebody put him in. So I don't know what his face looks like. If he was stabbed in the neck or the face, the blood may be hidden by the tarp. I'm not seeing any obvious blood. Apparently the witness picked up the knife, and the knife has like a string around it. There's blood on it. Yeah, the tarp's brown, but there's blood all over the tarp, like blood splatter.
It looks like, I mean, he was moved post-mortem, you can tell by the way he was dressed.
Oh, he's got his fucking leaf in his ass, right? Yeah. That's hollow down below, you see that? Yeah. That's crazy.
Almost looks like the carbon oat. This in the one eye, you see that?
Fucking nuts. Like this. So yes.
Kind of does look like Odin. I kind of was like, bro, it kind of does look like Odin. But Odin only had one eye. Yeah, I'm a history geek.
I think that was changed all right. And it looks like
Odin had a eye patch.
Yeah.
By now, officers were certain they had a murder on their hands. The injuries to the body, the bloody knife, and the presence of gasoline all point to one thing. This wasn't just a killing, but a calculated act where the victim had likely been tortured for hours. With this in mind, officers would return to question Jamie, the man who had originally called 911, and what Jamie reveals would soon lead investigators directly to the killer. But before we continue, it's worth noting that for Philadelphia, and he would provide them with their biggest lead yet.
So I heard arguing and stuff, so I go through the woods, go to this camp.
Yeah.
All back to the camp, because you know, all these people argue all the time about dumb shit. Been a while now, and I haven't heard anything from James or anybody over there. So I go over there to me and my friend that's with Officer now. Go over there, right? So when I walk, get to a certain point, I see a tarp laying there beside this tree, which is never there.
And inside is
The gun, the mist, the fucking start of the
if
season.
it's James or
Sciatic?
Alright, well we're gonna
What is sciatic, chat?
Do you know James' last name? Do you know James'
no
last
man,
name?
no man.
No.
I'm talking about the person who did this, because I know who it is. Dusty McDonald. They live right up. He just got the complaint this morning. Man come down there with a hatchet, threatened to chop the shit up. Called it in, sheriff's department. They come over, they talked to him, they told him that they're gonna go over and talk to him and just stay away.
And James is the one who called.
Oh, man.
Who called this morning? Rick. Okay. Do you know
Rick
Rick's
is
last
the one
name?
who stays there.
Okay.
No, man, but Rick is the one who stays there. James is a friend of everybody's, but
Sorry,
he was
should
staying
be able
up there
to
with
find out by
Dusty.
his name.
According to Jamie, a man named Dusty McDonald had attacked another man, Rick, with a hatchet earlier that day. Police were called, but were unable to locate or confront Dusty at the time. While this incident was concerning, it wasn't enough on its own to establish Dusty as a primary suspect. Until nearly every witness interviewed pointed to him as well. Eventually, officers had gathered enough statements to justify bringing Dusty in for questioning. All they needed now was to find him. As police began searching for Dusty, other officers on scene would sit down with the two 911 callers to piece together a timeline. According to them, the day had started with unsettling signs that something was off.
What you mean?
We both went down there. We were right here. We're going to go check on our friend. He's right over in the tarp.
Okay. Sir,
We came back
I heard arguing earlier, right?
We know who's down there, sir.
Arguing. Okay. So I walked down. In the woods. I seen Dusty have James on the ground. He was saying, you shouldn't talk shit about this, that. You know what I'm saying? I heard, like, oh, they just getting shit up, you know what I mean? But I never hear nothing from over there no more. I'm like,
You know Dusty's real name or?
Dusty McDonald.
Did you say that James called them today and said, hey,
No, Rick.
oh, Rick called?
Rick. James was there.
Dusty went over there and cut his tent with a
Cut him
machete?
up, threatened with a machete,
Yep.
cut his tent up,
Yep.
all kind of shit.
They called the police. I was there
Yep,
for that. I
called
was
the
there for
police,
that.
made a report, and the police just said, stay away from him. There's a tarp laying beside a tree that's never there, because I live here, and I took the stick and went. When I flipped it up, I seen legs.
Based on these witness accounts, officers now have a fairly detailed picture of what likely unfolded just hours earlier. They also have a lead suspect, Dusty McDonald, a name one of the officers happened to be familiar with.
I think they already brought up his name, but Dustin McCormick.
Yeah, Dusty.
Dusty, supposedly general in some militia, come down there this morning with a machete and started hacking up some of the temps because he wanted to clear the area. Machete's signal 20 and off his meds.
They said Dusty. They said Dusty's the one that was outstanding. Yeah, they said this guy Dusty left from over here like later in the evening.
By now, it was clear Dusty had likely been involved in the murder, and with Jamie and Robert's statements in hand, police began piecing together the sequence of events leading up to the brutal killing. Earlier that day, Rick, another man who lived at the camps, had called 911 claiming a Dusty McDonald had slashed his tent with a machete while searching for a man named James, even threatening him in the process. Later that afternoon, Dusty managed to find James, and witnesses reported hearing arguing from the camp. When they checked to see what was going on, they saw Dusty on top of James, wrestling and yelling. It didn't appear to be anything more than a heated argument, so they returned to their camp. However, hours would pass, and nobody had heard from James. Robert and Jamie began to worry and decided to go looking for him, and that's when they found a blue tarp covering James's lifeless body.
It's brutal,
Nearly
man.
all witness accounts lined up perfectly with this timeline of events, making the next step for officers clear: arrest Dusty and bring him in for interrogation. Fortunately, since officers had begun the work of locating him earlier that day, they already had Dusty's address. Soon after, they surrounded the house, ready to move in.
I don't know if that's him, but there's somebody.
Sheriff Office, put a knife down, man. Come on out. Come on out. Come on out.
I'm not, I don't have anything.
Okay, come on.
Please, I don't
Come on.
have anything in my hands.
Come on out.
I'm right here, sir.
Come on out.
Dude, I'm right here.
Dusty.
Okay. Dude, yeah.
Turn around, put your hands behind your back.
Dude, a man just tried to light me on fire, dude. Y'all know what happened down there. That man tried to light me on fire, man. It's all on surveillance, dude.
Listen, Dusty, you gotta do anything stupid. The dog's gonna bite you, understand?
I'm not even on him, sir. Look at there. I'm not hurt at all, sir. Sir, man just left my house and really tried to murder me down there and light me on fire.
Dusty's behavior would be bizarre from the start, immediately insisting that James tried to set him on fire and that the officers, quote, already know what happened down there. Whether he's trying to claim self-defense or is just completely unhinged is anyone's guess.
Sorry, what this with you? Yeah, dude, sir, you know what happened down there.
That's what we're trying to figure out.
Dude, the man tried to light me on fire and stuff.
Okay, listen.
Okay.
We've got one side. Alright. That's why you need to come with us. I know you are.
With the supposed killer in custody, officers concluded the disturbing on-scene investigation and began preparing for interrogation. If Dusty was their killer, given what had been done to the victim's body, it pointed to someone deeply disturbed. That suspicion would soon be confirmed. By By now, Dusty had already raised serious concerns. He had slashed Rick's tent and threatened him. On top of that, multiple witnesses had just reported seeing him argue with James hours before the murder. However, despite how clear things seemed, there was one major complication. Dusty was claiming self-defense. He alleged that James had thrown gasoline on him and threatened to set him on fire. This wasn't a claim detectives could easily dismiss, especially given the distinct smell of gasoline at the scene, meaning there was a possibility he could get away with his crime. Even though it's clear who's behind the murder at this point, Dusty's story now carries a shred of credibility. Detectives have one goal: to break that story, either by disproving his self-defense claim using witness statements, or, ideally, by getting a confession. Either way, the investigation is about to get a lot more complicated. To move forward, detectives start by bringing in people from the encampment who knew Dusty well and interacted with him regularly. If Dusty had a pattern of violent behavior, these individuals were the most likely to have seen it firsthand.
My goal here is to kind of get, from your perspective, kind of what you saw, what you heard.
He ain't really been fucking with me at all. I ain't never had no crosswords. He's always insistent. Oh, come up there and do your laundry and all that shit, you know. Come up there and get a shower. That's what it was. Come get a shower. Come get a shower all the time. So I fucked up and got a shower and get him $2 afterward, you know. Just a gesture.
Rick explains that Dusty often offered showers and laundry to homeless individuals in the area, sometimes charging a small fee. This catches the attention of detectives. These seemingly generous acts may be a part of a larger pattern of manipulation, a way for Dusty to assert control over the homeless community. It's a detail that could support their efforts to build a stronger case against him.
I tried my best to get along with him. You know, he had a shower that we all used, you know, sometimes try to keep him good with him for those reasons and stuff, you know.
Yeah, I get that.
Never, my wildest dreams that I think he was capable of murder, and that's honest truth. I was just over there basically using his necessities like we all were. You know, he had a chance to, you know, shower, usually offered it. That's his way of making friends with us, I think. I had stayed with him before, and he kicked me out. I thought I was in a light, so I was taking pictures of him and stuff like that with my phone, and I didn't have a phone. Like, I saw you taking pictures of me with your phone. I still didn't have a phone. He said, you gotta go. I left. That.
Dusty lives in a house near the homeless camps, a property owned by his grandfather. At first, much like Rick, Busby describes Dusty as someone who seems generous, allowing members of the homeless camp to use his home for basic amenities. As investigators continue interviewing members of the homeless community, a more troubling picture of Dusty begins to emerge. He has a history of strange and violent behavior marked by paranoia and delusions. However, officers face a challenge. The interviews so far have been too vague, highlighting patterns of behavior but lacking concrete details to build a solid case. This leads detectives back to Jamie, the original 911 caller and the person with the clearest recollection of events so far, and he's able to offer meaningful insight into who Dusty really is.
Mr. Young, my role here in all this, it's just kind of to get from your perspective, your side of things, what you saw, what you observed.
Man came to my camp last night.
Mm-hmm.
I used to stay up there with him. He's a violent person.
Okay.
This pawpaw is man and let me stay there because he's the one who owns the property. The reason I don't stay there is because you don't do what he says and he gets all angry and threatens you and he just crazy shit. I said, well,
What does he even carry?
he had a stick this time. But he's either got a stick, a machete, or a knife. He carries like 3 or 4 knives on him. Machete, sticks, it's like he thinks he's Rambo.
While Dusty had a reputation as a bully who routinely harassed the homeless community, no one expected his behavior to escalate to cold-blooded murder. His so-called generosity, offering his home for showers and laundry, masked a deeper need for control and manipulation. The same people he claimed to help were also the ones he intimidated and threatened, revealing a warped sense of power and superiority. In the end, this contradiction may have set the stage for the gruesome murder. When Dusty was brought in for questioning, his demeanor was strangely calm. At this point, he seems to believe that he is seen as a victim of an attack by this homeless man. He didn't seem like he was in his right mind at all. Detectives were hoping to learn about Dusty's side of the story, but instead were met with, well, a lot of nonsense.
You know I'm an owl, right? You're what? You know I'm an owl, right? Okay.
This man's loco.
Yes, sir. Okay, thank you. Golly. Thank you. This has been a really hard day. Sir, I waited all right there along with him. I still have a great sense of innocence within me. If it ain't obvious to you this time.
Throughout his interrogation, Dusty's responses are filled with incoherent delusions and deflections. In Dusty's mind, he's, quote, an owl, constantly watched, monitored, and under surveillance. It's clear that without his medication, his schizophrenia is spiraling out of control.
I'm heading remarkably well. Jesus, man, that was some crazy shit, man. And to still be able to get us some musical intel, tells me why staying at that place is so dangerous for me. I know a lot of trust is getting to me, so like that, but man, thank you for saying we'll get to talk about this.
Dusty seems to believe he's outsmarted the cops, thinking he's there to provide valuable intel as the victim. But he will soon find out that he's actually a suspect in the cold-blooded murder of an innocent man.
I haven't shed a tear all day, I've been going hard, I'm so exhausted. How long have you been done? But, this kind of work? Not very long. That was my first. I think everybody knows that. From the get-go. Thank you for this deep psychological support. It's helped them a lot. Good.
Listening closely to Dusty's words, it seems as if he's openly admitting to the murder. Although his statement is scattered and unclear, it gives detectives the impression that he's acknowledging responsibility without fully grasping the seriousness of his actions. But Dusty's bizarre admissions wouldn't stop there, as he continues rambling incoherently.
I was brushing and then, and then he tries to gasoline on me, because you saw how I was rolled up down there. I thought I was just doing it for the other. You know what I mean? Yeah, that was my intention. I didn't manage to hit that DOUI come out like that. I don't know how I do it sometimes. You know what I mean? Yeah, sure. When I'm just experimenting in the house with blades, like before back when I took the butcher knives and threw any curves on it. Like, I don't know how I do it, sir. I just know my beautiful mind that it's a three-way. It's the photographic, the audiogenic intake, and then the loving intake. Yeah. If y'all don't ever think I'm so amazed that I'm just like, God. Man, I never thought it would be something like that. But my God, what that thing was.
While Dusty's ramblings could be interpreted as an admission that James was his first murder, the statement is buried in a mix of delusions about retinoids, his photographic memory, and other incoherent claims. The detective picks up on this and pushes further, trying to separate fact from fiction in Dusty's fractured account.
For me to verify everything that I can see elsewhere, I'm trying to... I know you're not mad at me, that's just, I don't want you to think I'm asking questions. I think my personality is, I can't talk to people. I can do it. Yeah, but I don't want you to think I'm being extra. I am very happy with this accomplishment.
Dusty claims he's not mad and that people don't understand how he communicates. This shows he might have a twisted view of himself, possibly because of paranoia, delusions, or mental illness. What's strange is how calm and relieved Dusty seems. Most guilty people would be nervous or scared during an interrogation, but Dusty is different. He seems to still believe he's the victim and doesn't grasp the seriousness of his actions. Instead of taking responsibility, he thinks people just don't understand him. This becomes even clearer when Dusty asks one final question to the detective.
Well, I'm going to go home. Figure that out. Yeah,
Or am I going to jail, or we're going down the dance?
We're gonna have to figure that kind of out, because how this thing kind of goes from here.
I guess. I want to talk to you about it, see what happens.
After this bizarre exchange, the detective had heard enough to know it was time to wrap up the interrogation. Dusty's lack of remorse and distorted grip on reality made it clear they were dealing with someone who didn't fully understand the weight of his actions. According to the pathology report, the victim, James Decker, was subjected to horrific torture before his death. His body showed severe blunt force trauma, including cuts, bruises, and fractures to his face, nose, ears, and mouth. His eyes had severe bleeding, and many of his teeth were broken. The injuries also extended to his neck, with heavy bleeding in the muscles and a broken hyoid bone, suggesting he had been strangled. His torso displayed several broken ribs, and internal bleeding was found in his chest and abdomen. One of the most disturbing details from the report was that James had been exposed to gasoline. His skin had begun to slough off in areas, and a strong smell of gasoline was found on his arms, thighs, and hands. Gasoline was also detected in his lungs and stomach, indicating he had inhaled and swallowed it before he died. This made the murder even more gruesome. Dusty was processed for forensic evidence and transported to the Leon County Detention Facility. The witness statements, his vague confession, and the forensic evidence from the scene were enough to formally charge him. Dusty McDonald was charged with 1 count of first-degree murder, and as of this video's upload, his case remains ongoing.
Man, don't go homeless. I'm just kidding, man. That's crazy, bro. But with that, man, we're gonna end the video. Hey, YouTube, if you like the video, I'm gonna upload probably 3 more when this is uploaded. So if you see this first, make sure to go check out those other videos. Make sure to like them up, subscribe. I love every single one of you, and I will see you in the next vid.